Read Quran in 240 hours with Abdul Wahab.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina Muhammad. You are welcome back to this lesson. This is lesson 1B. And in this lesson, you will learn the practical explanation of what you have learned in the previous lesson, which is lesson 1A. In lesson 1A, we have learned the first 6 Arabic letters, the pronunciation and how to identify them, and also the sound that they have in English language letters. So in this lesson, you'll be looking at how to identify them in Arabic text, precisely the Quran, in this form. Whatever you see it in this form, how do we identify them? And bringing it to our normal day life, that is what we mean by the practical aspect of it. I'll be using the book Nuurul Bayyan, Nuurul Bayyan. So we start with the first letter, which is Alif, 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 Alif. And this Alif is written like 1. It looks like our number 1, like our number 1, our number 1, number 1. So that is Alif for us. That is Alif. And whatever you see it in the Quran, it is Alif. Alif. You can see it in this place too, in this written form. This is it here. This place, this is it here. Alif. So whatever we see, we should know that it is Alif. That is Alif. And it's written like number 1. So the next letter is letter Ba. 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 And we shouldn't forget that in the first lesson we learned that we start writing Arabic letters from the right hand side. So this our Ba, we take it, our pencil or whatever I want to use to write it, put it down somewhere. Then we start like this. This is Ba with a dot under it. Just one dot under it. That is Ba. Ba. Let me write it again. Take your pencil to the right hand side and you draw it down like this. That is with a dot under it. That is Ba. 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 You look at this very, you see that it looks like a plate. So just bring your distance down, then put your dot under it. That is Ba. 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 The next one is Ta. Ta. The same pattern, the same way in which we write the letter Ba is what we use in writing letter Ta as well. So you take your pencil or whatever you want to use to write it, bring it down like this to the other side. Then you put 2 dots on its head. 2 dots on its head. 2 dots on its head. That is Ta. 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 Once again, your pencil or your pen, bring it down like this, up like this. Then you put 2 dots. 1, 2. That is Ta. 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 The next one is Tha. Tha. The same pattern that you use for Ba and Ta. Take your pencil, bring it down like this, draw it down, up. Then this is with 3 dots. 1, 2, and 3. That is 3 dots on each. So these 3 letters, they look alike. They look alike. The distinction they have is the dot. It's the dot that distinguishes them. Like Ba'u. Ba'u, it has a dot under it. So we should know that whenever we see something like placed like this and it has a dot under it, that is Ba. 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 Then for Ta, the dot is on it. 2 dots on its head. That is Ta. 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 Then for Tha, 3 dots on its head. This has been explained in the previous lesson, which is lesson 1A, but we are only going back to it again so as for us to understand. So we have Tha, 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 Tha. So the difference between Ba, Ta, and Tha is that Ba, the dot is under it. The dot is under it in Ba'u. For Ta'un, it has 2 dots and the Ta is on it. Then for Tha'un, it has 3 dots and the dots are on it. That is what we use to identify. So we can just look at it in this format that, okay, the first one is Ba and it has 1 dot, which is the least dot. Then the second one is Ta, it has 2 dots, which is second least dot. Then the Tha'un has 3 dots, which is the maximum, the highest number of dots, and it has it on its head. So just know that Ba, you have the dot under it. Ta, you have the dot on it, which is 2. Tha, you have the dot on it, which is 3. And we should not forget the pronunciation. It is Ba, Ta, Tha. Then the next one is Jim. Jim. That's number 5, the 5th letter of the Arabic letters. We have Jim. This Jim, how do you write it? We are teachers, if we are teaching our small children how to write letters in school, we say they should learn stroke and curve. So in this case, we use stroke and curve to write Jim. So the first one, we bring our stroke, then our curve will come again. That is Jim. Then we put our dot inside it. That is Jim. See, it looks like Jim. Then the way to write it again is bring your curve, then touch that place, then you bring your your stroke first, then your curve, then you put your dot inside it. That is Jim. Once again, bring it down, then your curve, then you put your dot inside it. That is Jim. And you can copy the way they write it here exactly. So by just doing like this, you bring it down, then you can see that it looks different from the one I've been writing before. So that is Jim. A stroke and a curve. So that is Jim for us. Jim. The same thing in ha. This is ha. Your stroke again, then your curve. Without any dot. Ha has no dot. Your stroke, then your curve. Again, your stroke and your curve. Again, your stroke, then your curve. Again, your stroke, then your curve. So let me now write it the way it is written in this book. That is ha, without any dot. In review of what we have learned today, we have learned alif. We said alif is written as number 1. Whenever we see 1 in the Quran, we should know that it is alif. Then the next one is ba, which looks like a plate. This is it under it. It is under it. The dot is under it. Ba. That is for ba. Then ta, it has something on it, 2 dots on it, which is this 2 dots on it. That is ta. Then tha, the same way, it looks like alif and ba and ta as well. So tha is just 3 dots on it. 3 dots. Tha. Then jim, our jim is the stroke and the curve. Then we have a dot inside it. That is jim. For ha as well, we have our stroke, then we have our curve. So that is ha. So we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us in knowledge. This is where we stop today. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. The next lesson will be lesson 1C, which is the writing, how to write these letters in details. We will be using the book, writing book for it. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assist us and crown our effort with goodness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you in the next lesson.